hallelujah. Girl, set you hallelujah. Girl, set you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, hey, hey. Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up.
It was heartbreaking. You know, he's an incredible mentor to me. To have him on the staff and work with us, it was a dream.
As a person, he was incredible, man. He was some guy that you would think never had a bad day. He always came in smiling. He had a great sense of humor, and he was just positive. He always looked out the positives of the team, and it helped create what we have here, the culture we have here.
First and foremost, we were friends, which is why he came to America in the first place, first to play for me, and then to obviously assist me as a coach.
At first it was just player-coach, and then it became a friend, and then he became like a brother to me.
And the big thing for him that he shared with me was just enjoying every day. He was just saying, take every opportunity that you get, and that's what really stuck with me. I think for us, it just gives us that added motivation to know like that he would want us to push forward and be the best that we could be.
It's going to raise our level of play for every game. Best that for us to be successful, and so we have to provide the same.
He's somehow with us, and hopefully, you know, that can still rub off on the players and make them appreciate what they have, and how it can be taken away from all of us at any given point. He'll be missed, and he was one of the most honest, genuine human beings I ever think I've come across, and probably will ever come across.
Fans, please rise as today's Dream Team from Utah Surf joins the starters from Portland Timbers 2 and your Royale Monarchs. Leading the way is your Master of Mayhem, Leo the Lion. Please remain standing and welcome Shanna Taggart as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as a child light starts gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant constantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Shanna Taggart. And now let's hear it for your Royale Monarchs. Starting today, Captain number 49, Chandler Hoffman. In goal, number 51, Andrew Putnam. Defender, number 13, Nick Beasler. Defender, number 45, Andrew Brody. Defender, number 52, Kaylin Ryden. Defender, number 53, Michael Gallagher. Midfielder, number 31, Pablo Ruiz. Midfielder, number 43, Justin Portillo. Midfielder, number 44, Michael Che. Midfielder, number 46, Masta Kache. Midfielder, number 55, Sebastian Velasquez. Your head coach is Mark Briggs. Monarchs fans, let me hear you make some noise. Let's keep it loud. Let's keep it loud. Are you ready? We now invite all supporters at Rio Tinto Stadium to show their appreciation for former Irish international and Real Monarchs assistant coach Liam Miller by way of a moment's applause, which will start at the referee's whistle. Thank you.
We hit terminus! Let him rest!
13, Nick Beasley.
Pops out an assist on his very first, maybe his second touch. Terrible marking by T2 and really well capitalized by Nick Beasley.
Ball's going to look like it's going to run over the end line. Gallagher there to shield it away. It'll be a goal kick for Andrew Putnam. His second season with the Monarchs. Continuing the form of quality keepers through this organization. Connor Sparrow was signed by the first team, was with the team last night in Toronto. He had a phenomenal season last year for the Monarchs.
I'll tell you what, without the separation of
Chang, just outside the area, Ruiz gonna take a crack. Gonna be parried away, still inside the area. Timbers 2 trying to clear. Monarchs looking like they're coming out with their foot on the gas pedal tonight.
I mean, really good action so far early on from Pablo Ruiz. You can tell he's all left-footed, but it seems like he has a pretty special left foot, and this is going to be a great game for him because there'll be a little bit more space for him to do, you know, his kind of trickerista magic that he has, that he's shown on the practice field with the first team.
Back to Beasler, the goal scorer.
And what I was saying about Putna is there's not a whole lot of separation between Connor Sparrow, Putna, Alex. It's really just Nick Raimondo and then everybody else, but really good talent at goalkeeper.
Ryden just outside the area. He's going to whip it in, and it will win the second corner of the afternoon for the Monarchs.
Question is here is, do you come with a new corner kick, a short corner kick, or do you do the exact same thing that just gave T2 problems? Because Nick Beasley was very easily unmarked. Can he get loose again?
Ruiz back in the corner to take the corner kick. Sebastian Velasquez hanging out outside the area. Brody and Chang holding up the defense for the Monarchs. Ball's whipped in, looking back post for Ryden. Ryden's going to try to keep it in. Cashier's there. Monarchs will reset. Looking back out wide to Ruiz. He'll settle. Velasquez, a USL first team player. Trying to switch the field. The Monarchs are going to keep it inside Timbers 2 half. Out wide to Chang. Chang looking inside the box to Hoffman. A good-looking ball cut off by the Timbers 2 defense.
No, that was a fantastic early ball in. You know, you can really see how good a player is by how he does in different situations. Being out wide, a lot of players just whipping a blind ball there. Chang picks out Hoffman at the near post run and just barely gets caught up by the Timbers 2 defense.
Third corner kick of the match for the Monarchs, and we're only 7 minutes in, Chad.
Yeah. It's looking like a long day for T2, but can they capitalize Monarchs now and really put them in a hole?
Ball's inside the box. Ryden gets a shot and a goal!
Goal! Goal! Monarchs goal! Number 52, Keelan Ryden!
It's on.
Was the one to serve in a lot of those set pieces, and the Monarchs are capitalizing again this season on set pieces.
Again, just completely unmarked. You know, mistiming his jump, and Ryden just sneaks in right behind him, keeps his eye on the ball. Great little finish from him, but the mark before the game. I'm gonna let everybody know that, you know, sometimes that can just happen, but when you see what happened once, it could just be an accident. When it happens twice, Chang's try to play that early ball into Chandler. He knows he's really good finisher with his feet. He knows he's good if he's just got the goalie to beat most times. Despite what he did just a couple minutes ago, normally that ball's coming in and he's putting that in the side netting.
Hoffman's not a guy of large stature, so he's not looking for a ball in the air. The Monarchs typically have done well on set pieces with some height coming from the back, as we've seen tonight, but not necessarily with your forward play. Hoffman's a guy, like we mentioned, just a poacher, a natural finisher inside the 6.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of MLS coaches see as something a little bit lacking in his game is his hold-up play. Can he play that one person by himself? I think he can. I think he has the ability to. He's gotten much better since I've played with him for this last year. And like you said, he's a poacher. He's a goal scorer. You can't argue with a forward that scores goals.
Will be the first corner kick for T2. Andre Lewis, the Jamaican international, will play it inside the box, and it's going to be over everybody's head and come out the backside almost for a throw-in. Be kept in by T2. Lewis, he'll settle. Back to Phillips, the captain. Phillips, the former Switchbacks FC player, wearing the captain's armband tonight for T2. Cashier battling.
Great fight.
Good little touch there. Hansen. He'll pick up his head, cuts inside. Gallagher there to clear it up. Not out of danger for the Monarchs. Lewis. He'll spray it out wide. Beasler and Chang there. Velasquez. He's going to get an opportunity just across the midfield stripe. 1v1. He'll be battling. And a challenge there and a yellow card. Not sure I saw the yellow that he saw there.
I'm not even sure I saw the foul unless there was a trailing leg that came in behind to hit Velasquez. He did a good job to get body position again. He's even smaller stature, much smaller stature than Chandler Hoffman is. So, but he shows great strength when he's on the ball. He's got an unbelievable ability to possess the ball, much like a couple players like a Cuauhtemoc Blanco I used to play with. It seemed like he should get rid of the ball every single time. He had no speed at all. But this man never lost the ball when it was at his feet. He either took a foul or he made some kind of great pass.
Jadama will be shown yellow in the 32nd minute of play.
They haven't done well with these, and these are even tougher to defend than corner kicks. It's all about being on the same page and holding the right line. A good ball into the back of the 6. I'm expecting to see a goal because the marking has not been there from T2.
Portillo and Ruiz. Portillo with the right foot, Ruiz with the left foot. Both are standing over it. Portillo's going to hit it. Whipping it inside the box, looking for Ryden, and a goal! Kalen Ryden with the brace.
I think I'm going to be a psychic reader after this, to be honest. You could just see the writing on the wall as they're lining up at the top of the 18. There are 6 Monarchs and only 4 T2. They're all on line, not marking anybody. I don't know what they went over in set pieces, but this was definitely not it. I know for a fact that Cameron Knowles said, hey, don't mark anybody today. Great ball in, Ryden with his 2nd goal, but it was just a copycat of the first.
Man unmarked inside the 6, places it to that far post, and McIntosh, there was nothing he could do.
Well, I would dispute that just a little bit.
Maybe coming off his line.
Exactly. Nothing he could do once he made the decision to stay. But that ball was long enough in the air, and it fell inside of his 6. I think a lot of the T2 defenders might have thought that he was going to come for that. He's a little bit smaller in stature. You got to be a little bit more commanding, though. Anything inside your 6 has to be the goalkeeper.
I would agree with you. Coming out to punch, you would hope, just to clear your line. Hansen moving forward. Gallagher there. Gallagher with a sliding challenge. A good job to kind of dummy it with the slide. Make sure he cut off the run of Hansen. It'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs.
That's the difference, though, in these games. When you get to the professional levels, the semi-professional levels, and even more the international levels, free kicks, set pieces, those are where people take those little lapses and they take a little time out. And that little timeout, that's all the other team needs. And the Monarchs really found something they didn't exploit. They're going to be trying to get free kicks and corner kicks for the rest of the game, knowing that T2 can't mark it.
And that's the crazy thing. After you saw one free kick like that, you'd imagine that they would have figured out marking has to change. 2 set pieces, or 3 set pieces, 2 goals. you have to figure it out at that point. And that third might have been a nail to the coffin.
Yeah, it is. It's like I said, you know, the writing was on the wall. You could see how they were setting up before the free kick even took place. As the ball's coming in, it's just almost too easy. Writing goes completely untouched. Mistimed jumps, and the keeper doesn't come. There's so many things that are wrong with that. I would not want to be in the locker room of T2 at halftime.
Cameron Knowles is going to have some things to say about the marking, I'm sure, in this first half.
'Cause that's what coaches can't stand. You know, if you get beaten open play, mistake here and there.
Brody defending, ball inside the box, unmarked players, save, and a goal. T2 finds the back of the net in the 35th minute of play, a lapse in defensive effort by the Monarchs, and Arboleda is the goal scorer.
Really frustrating goal for Mark Briggs' team to give up here, the Monarchs. And like you said, the ball was coming in, the ball was out there on the wide long enough for this to happen. Ball comes in, gets flicked on, nobody really collects or gets to the forward. Who scored that goal?
Arboleda.
You know, just first to react. Sometimes you get called ball watch, and that could be a little bit to do with the fact that it was 3-0. But that is a great response from T2, and that nail just got jarred out of that coffin.
Monarchs struggled last week in Tulsa, keeping the game in front of them. They went out, got an early goal, and there'll be a foul called on Sebastian Velasquez. Looked like he got upended.
I think it was a high kick, and then he caught him on the shoulder. It's good to see somebody get, you know, almost hit in the face and not act like they just got shot in the face.
Yeah.
That's always a nice thing. So.
Oh, yep, Lewis caught a boot up to the head. Arboleda on that goal, had an opportunity with the header and put back in the second one. The ball inside the box, Monarchs struggling to clear it. T2 now applying pressure. Portillo.
He's got Chang out wide.
Looking forward to Chang. Ball's out in front. Hansen's in front of him. 1v3. He's outside the area. Ruiz there to provide some assistance. Ruiz looking for Hoffman. Little bit too far out in front of him.
That's what a goal can do, though. Sometimes it doesn't seem like, you know, you can really score. Then finally someone puts one in, just a little putback off of putting a save, and all of a sudden it's just a little bit of a reinvigoration of the soul a little bit. So now they're thinking, hey, can we get another goal, make it 3-2, and then this is absolutely a game.
Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL players in USL.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. That's From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. Ruiz inside the center circle, out wide to Cashier. Ryden making the overlapping run. He has a brace tonight for the Monarchs.
All 3 goals from defenders.
Gotta love that. I'm a center back. We love getting goals.
All that, and then Chandler Hoffman, the one that scores the goals, misses the easiest opportunity.
Inside the 6.
Inside the 6.
He'll redeem himself.
Yeah, you got to think so.
There's a goal so far on the season. Last week, 88th minute goal to level things up.
He had a great season last year.
17 goals.
17 goals, you know, career leading. You know, that's just great for him, you know, but I know that it wasn't enough for him. Just talking to him, he wanted 25.
Beasler's pocket gets picked. And a big save there by Putna. And Monarchs going to recollect. Good opportunity for the Timbers, too. Arboleda looking inside the box. It's going to take a deflection off Beasler. It'll be a corner kick for the Timbers, too. The nail was not in the coffin, Chad. One of those things that you have to realize is the first 45 minutes of play, you have to take things to the locker room when you have that 3-0 lead. Now you've given some light to the Timbers. We're late here in the first half. Lewis will take the second corner kick of the afternoon for the Timbers, and they have an opportunity again.
Yeah, you could really pick any saying you want. You know, nail's been taken out of the coffin, foot's been taken off the pedal. This has been a very different 5 minutes from the first 30 that happened for the T2.
Beasler with the header. Still inside the box. Putna will collect.
Going off of knowledge that I have from last year, though, with Briggs and giving up set-piece goals is not something that he loves to do. I think it's probably one of the things he hates the most. So to have 3 goals on the offense is all good, but definitely don't give up one on defense. And now that you've given up 1 goal, definitely can't give up that second one before halftime hits.
In a situation like this, Chad, if you're Mark Briggs, what are you telling your players? Slow down, control the game?
Just wake up, be aware. It's one of those things where you get too big of a lead, then people start dribbling, or people start, not passing the right way they want to, taking touches, just not thinking that the team is going to cause them any kind of danger. But this T2 team is full of speed and full of danger up top, and they can change a game in a heartbeat.
Gallagher and Beasler with it along the back line. Portillo will drop in and will collect. Gallagher forward to Sebastian Velasquez. He's ridden from behind by a defender. Back to Velasquez. He's got space in front of him. Looking. Nice defensive effort there by Phillips to cut things off for T2.
Maybe a nice one touch to the outside there from Sebastian. That's what I'm saying, is you're taking a little bit 2 touches. You want to do something amazing. And, Sebastian Velasquez definitely has that in his locker. But sometimes just better to play it out wide, keep the good move going forward, especially when you haven't had one in the last, 5 or 10 minutes.
You got what it takes to beat the experts on USLsoccer.com. Show off your knowledge of the league by putting your picks and the right results of the USL matchups each week of the season. It's called Beat the Experts. I don't know if I consider myself an expert, so I don't know if I can get on there.
Is that for MLS or is that for
USL?
USL? I couldn't do it for MLS, so I definitely couldn't do it for USL. It's probably the most unpredictable leagues. I guess the best thing you can always do is just, I'd say I'd pick winners on the home team for the most part.
Tonight you'd be doing all right with the 3-1 lead for the Monarchs. Putting a nice ball quickly up to Velasquez. Velasquez looking forward. Cashier is going to play onto it. It'll be a throw-in for T2.
The change of the field. Can they step their pressure up for the last 5 minutes of this half? Try and get that 3-goal lead again before they go in. Stay safe at the back. Don't give anything up. Don't cause any stupid mistakes. If it's going to go in, it needs to go out. Make sure everything is safe and secure as houses.
Ruiz there. Ball gets out in front of him. Brody there, sliding challenge. Beasler quickly to Portillo. Portillo, nice heads up. Get it quickly to Gallagher. Monarchs playing that little tiki-taka soccer. Nice, simple touches. 1-2 touches. Quickly to the next player. Velasquez is going to run through a challenge. Phillips, nice little footwork there. The captain. And a challenge gets away from him.
I'd say 2 challenges got away from him there, and he didn't get caught for one of them. So that's definitely some frustration from the center back Gallagher there, showing some proper English tackles.
Get away with some nice footwork as a defender, and then get the ball, let the ball get too far away from you. Down goes Ryden. Ball switched to the far side. Mulligan. Just outside the 18 are the Timbers too. Lewis, he'll pick up his head looking. Defended by Brody. It'll be another corner kick for the Timbers too. Their 3rd of the match. We're in the 43rd minute of play. 3-1 Monarchs. 3 set-piece goals for the Monarchs and a 35th minute goal for the Timbers too.
But you saw a lapse in concentration right after the first goal. Let's hope there's not another one here on the corner kick.
Ball's inside the box, looking back post. And a header there. An opportunity for Jadama, the center back.
Better opportunity than he did with it. It definitely looked like he just took his eye off the ball at the last second. Maybe he lost sight of the ball at the last second. Not too sure what happened. But he definitely had a clear open header where he could have tucked it in the near post there. Almost a catastrophic for the Monarchs going into halftime.
Putna high and long. Velasquez trying to get under it. Velasquez and Phillips battling. Velasquez is going to win it. Defended closely by Phillips.
He's such a menace. He's so hard to defend.
With Cashier there. Out wide.
again.
Cashier likes his step-overs, doesn't he?
He does.
I think I've counted 26 in this first half.
Goal of the year candidate from last season. Scored a screamer on the Monarchs.
Probably why he's here.
Definitely so. Gallagher to Velasquez. Monarchs content to control the pace here in the last few minutes of the first half. Inside their own half. Kind of a lax ball there from Sebastian Velasquez looking for Brody. Brody does a good job to win it. Chang, the Cuban, looking out wide. Brody cut off by McIntosh.
See, this is always a good opportunity and very dangerous for T2 because they definitely want to get one more goal before halftime. So as they move the ball forward, people are going to start taking some chances on the right side or the left side. Can the ball turn over? Can the ball turn over and can you counter right now like this? Can this turn into a quick counter attack in 4-1?
Monarchs moving forward. Velasquez, Cashier with him. Looking forward. Phillips will cut it off. Still inside.
Very uncharacteristic giveaway right there. I think it was a 5-on-2 or a 5-on-3 for the Monarchs. And for some reason, probably because he's tired towards the end of the half, but Velasquez just took the ball up too slow. Got to make that pass. As soon as it turns over, make a pass and make the defenders move again. And then another pass and come after that. That should have been a shot on goal at the very least.
45 minutes of soccer have been played so far. 3 minutes of stoppage time announced.
There will be 3 minutes of added time, 3 minutes.
Normally you don't see 3 minutes at the end of first half, especially when there was very little injuries. But I guess 4 goals, you're putting 30 seconds on for each of those.
Some thinking behind it, I would guess.
Yeah, it's just kind of uncharacteristic when there's been no real cards. Or it's been a very free-flowing game, and it's been a good game to watch.
A beautiful afternoon for soccer, a treat for those here on hand. Hopefully enjoying some peeps or some Easter candy down in the crowd. 67 degrees, beautiful and sunny, like always at the Riot.
Easy to get your kid here. Just tell them there's an Easter egg hunt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be one.
Didn't I see you down there picking up a few eggs?
Yeah, for sure. I put them back, though, for the kids.
Good. Always for the kids. We're through our first minute of stoppage. Ryden looking forward to Velasquez. He'll slow things up to Ruiz. Monarchs content with it in their own half. Portillo, nice little ball to Velasquez. Velasquez looking forward. Ooh, almost found the run there of Hoffman.
That's the connection that happened all last season, and that's the connection that we love to see. Hoffman made a run that was a little bit more straight. I thought that he was going to cut across the line. That way you kind of only make it so Sebastian has to pass it past one defender rather than split two. But if he gets that ball there, which Sebastian Velasquez can do, he's right through on goal.
Phillips looking forward. Ruiz and Cashier there to defend. Arboleda, the goal scorer, picks up his head. Nice ball through. And sprayed out wide. T2 on the attack. Cut off by Brody, who's done a nice job on that right side so far tonight.
You can tell he's having some problems, but his problems are pretty much all tactical and not really much to do with his actual physical ability. He's been working his tail off, but the one thing that, you just have to get used to positioning and receiving the ball in these certain areas.
Ryden out wide. He's got a lot of green grass in front of him. Hansen defending him. Hoffman looking forward. Hoffman and Ryden not quite on the same page. Jadama, not sure what he's doing there. Really not clearing it. And now really out of position.
Open in the middle if he can find him.
Cashier sees himself wide open. Ryden couldn't get it off his feet. Velasquez going to go out wide to Ryden. He'll whip it in the box, looking for Chang. Chang was coming a little further in the middle instead of making that back post run. Brody will keep it inside the box. Another opportunity for the Monarchs, and it'll be headed up and away. And Brad Jensen will signal the first half is through. And we've played 45 minutes of soccer here at the Riot. Monarchs lead 3-1 off first half goals by Nick Beasler. Kalen Ryden with the brace as well.
It was a good first half. It's exactly what they needed. 3-1. You give up that one goal. You didn't want to do it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm sure the coaches will have both something to say at halftime, and the teams will come out in the second half
Great
better.
30 minutes for the Monarchs,
Yeah.
and then a laxed final 15. What changes do you have to make in those situations?
Really, there's no changes that the Monarchs have to make. I think the only thing that they have to do is make sure that, like I said, they don't get lulled to sleep. It looked like in the second 15 minutes of that they were taking their foot off the pedal. Even going forward, there was people that were making good runs and not getting the ball, which they were doing in the first run. That was getting the corner kicks to get them the goals. And for T2, there's a lot they have to do, but they really started to find their stride in that first 15 or in that last 15 minutes. I'm sure Cameron Knowles will just try and not focus on what happened in the beginning and tell them, listen, whatever we did in the last 15 minutes, let's just continue that, get one more goal, and then we're right back in this.
One of the things that I think you must change in the second half for T2 is someone has to pick up marks. No wide open runs on set pieces.
Well, that's accountability. And even if you don't know where you're supposed to be on a corner kick, grab a man, stay with your man, don't let him score. That is just soccer 101. If you can't figure it out, do something about it. And it just seems like nobody's taking accountability, and the defense is really just isn't kind of, you know, the keeper's not really commanding his area as he should.
Second half will be underway here shortly. We're going to toss it over to a nice package that was prepared as a tribute for Liam Miller, the assistant coach for the Monarchs, who passed away this past February. And we'll toss over to that now.
It was heartbreaking. You know, he's an incredible mentor to me. And to have him on the staff and work with us, it was a dream.
As a person, he was incredible, man. He was some guy that you would think never had a bad day. He always came in smiling. He had a great sense of humor, and he was just positive. He always looked out the positives of the team, and it helped create what we have here, the culture we have here.
First and foremost, we were friends, which is why he came to America in the first place, first to play for me, and then to obviously assist me as a coach.
At first it was just player coach, and then it became a friend, and then he became like a brother to me.
And the big thing for him that he shared with me was just enjoying every day. He was just saying, take every opportunity that you get, and that's what really stuck with me. I think for us, it just gives us that added motivation to know like that he would want us to push forward and be the best that we could be.
It's going to raise our level of play for every game. I think it gives us a face on our uniform to look at and to remember that this was someone that would come in every day with his integrity, with his professionalism, to give the best that he had for us to be successful, and so we have to provide the same.
He's somehow with us, and hopefully, you know, that can still rub off on the players and make them appreciate what they have, and how it can be taken away from all of us at any given point. He'll be missed, and he was one of the most honest, genuine human beings I ever think I've come across, and probably will ever come across.
Hi, we're being joined today by Jake Edwards, president of the USL. Just getting ready to kick off an exciting 2018 season. Jake, thank you very much for joining us today.
Great, my pleasure.
Jake, it's been another exciting off-season for the USL, and buzz is really picking up as we're getting ready to kick off here. Talk to us about what you're looking forward to the most in 2018 and where the USL is positioning itself in the American soccer landscape.
Yeah, we've worked hard this off-season and the last few years now to create a really great league, but an aspirational league. We look at the leagues around the world and we say we would like to be in the company of some of those top leagues. We're now the second division in the US. We've worked hard to achieve that, and we aspire to be one of the top second divisions in the world. And there's some phenomenal leagues out there to aspire to that we can learn from. But things are going great. It's been a busy off season. We've got some new teams coming on board, some great new owners coming in the league, phenomenal new players coming in the league. And it's going to be by far and away the toughest and most competitive season, but certainly it's the biggest season we've had yet. More games, more teams. We reach more communities, more fans than ever before. So this is another big year for us.
Well, the league this year certainly continues to grow, and we're welcoming 6 new teams to the USL in 2018. What are you looking forward to the most during this kickoff weekend of these teams coming in and the quality of soccer we're going to see across the league?
Yeah, 6 very exciting teams. 2 teams that are already established clubs in Indy 11 and North Carolina. Great pedigree, great fan bases, exciting soccer-specific stadiums, and Atlanta United, the lone team out of MLS coming in this season. Atlanta United breaking all kinds of records as an organization in MLS, doing great things for the sport. Fully anticipate the same for Atlanta United too. And then, of course, our new markets, Nashville and Las Vegas, Fresno. Really exciting new additions to our league, and have done tremendously well in pre-season games so far, well attended. So very much looking to see how those teams and those new fan bases mix in with all the other teams we have in our league.
Hi, we're being joined today by Jake Edwards, president of the USL. Just getting ready to kick off an exciting 2018 season. Jake, thank you very much for joining us today.
Great, my pleasure.
Looking at some of the players, we've had a number of internationals now that call the USL home. What does that mean to you and the rest of the folks at the league that we're seeing so many of these world-class players now apply their trade here with the USL?
It's important. It's a testament to the growth of the league, the exposure the league's getting around the world now, that players in a number of countries are now seeing the USL regularly, are appreciating the quality of what's going on here, and want to make this the league they want to play in, whether that's Didier Drogba, Joe Cole, and players of that caliber and quality who have played at the very highest level. We've had a significant amount of players this season that have played in the Gold Cup, that have played in the World Cup qualifiers, that are playing full senior international, as well as a nice mix of some of the next best players coming out of this country, players on the under-20 national teams. And it's an exciting mix on the field, and I think it just speaks to the commitment and the investment that the owners are making into their clubs, the quality of coaches we now have in our league, and their ability to recruit players from all around the world, and I think it's just the quality of the competition certainly attracting better and better players.
You touched on coaching a little bit with the number of call-ups that we've seen as well from the players here at the USL playing for their national teams. What does that speak to in terms of the quality of coaching that we've seen?
It's great. It's an area of our league we take seriously, and we spend a lot of time on. We have a full-time department here that just works with our coaches. It is critical that we continue to attract better coaches all the time. We've got coaches now that have coached at the MLS, that have coached in Ligue MX, that have coached in some of the top leagues around the world. What that brings is an understanding of what it takes to build a professional football club and how to instill a real football culture. Make no mistake, it's a large reason why we have so many top-class players coming in the league, and it's testament to the quality of coaches. Last year we had 2 coaches go on the new Federation Pro license. Now we've got 9 coaches on the Pro license this year, and more coming next year. So those coaches are doing tremendous work at the clubs, from the first team all the way down to the youth programs in the community.
with first half goals on set pieces, and the team's playing well so far. We're joined alongside RSL Vice President Rob Zarkos.
Hey,
Rob,
what's up?
thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You know, got this scruffy beard going on.
Yeah.
I mean, we call it a playoff beard. We're at the start of the season, so we won't call it a playoff beard, but it looks
We can call
good.
it that. We're going to make the playoffs.
Playoff beard, I like it. Rob, let's talk a little bit about this team. A lot of exciting stuff happening around this Monarchs team.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot today, but it's really been a fun progression the last few years.
Yeah, look, me and the initial staff were here at Ground Zero, and it was a struggle that first year. We had 4 months to get the team online, put a team together. We brought Freddie up. But I think every year the evolution is been great, right? I mean, you can see it last year we won regular season. That wasn't good enough. We put a team together that hopefully this year we win the full championship. And you can see the moves I think we made in the offseason to get there. So it's pretty exciting.
Fun stuff and an exciting squad. There's some additions out there that are kind of unique and have some fun stories. Michael Chang, one that comes from a unique background, and he's a guy that's played well so far this season.
Yeah, and him and Portillo coming over from,
The Battery.
The Battery, that's right. They're coming over and bring something. I mean, you see Portillo, he's got that bite. Chang's got a little more dynamism than we've had on the wing. And you saw it today in the game so far. I mean, it's great. And, again, I think the big question I always see from people is, well, why are we building a team like this? It should be for development. Our philosophy is if you're not winning, you're not developing. So there's a core team that's there, built to win USL, and you can bring players from the first team or get the younger kids from the academy that can fit in there, but that builds the winning mentality.
And that's one of those things we've seen here in the last few weeks. We saw Connor Baird get a goal with the Monarchs last week, and then we saw it last night getting his first goal with the senior side.
Yeah.
So you're seeing some of that development and those opportunities for those guys moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's how it's built.
A lot of youth going forward, too. So, like he said, you have a lot of people coming back. Do you think any other team really utilizes their first-team subs and not non-impactful players, but, numbers 18 through 28 as much as the Monarchs do?
It's really dependent. The first couple of years of the season, you saw everybody was built a little more like we are now, and they went super young. So a lot of academy, Portland historically has played a lot of academy. Seattle plays a lot of academy. LA, a lot of the MLS teams go more academy development, and you'll see some first team, depending on injuries, obviously, up and down. I think we're becoming one of the more dynamic teams to be able to do that, where Mark and Mike have such a good relationship that everybody knows by Tuesday who's coming down, subject to injuries, of course, and it's really designed to get those first-team guys minutes. I mean, look at Pablo. I mean, he's probably the best player on the field out there, and it's purely designed to get him integrated from the Chilean First Division into American soccer to get him ready to play and start for the first team.
And that's something that he has that possibility to do because he's young. And that's the good thing about being those young players is you can send them down there, and they like playing with their friends, and the guys are kind of the same age as them. It's a little bit different for Damir Kreilach.
Yeah.
When he comes in, he doesn't have those, this is how the league is, this is the pace, everything. This is it. You're here.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. And yes, he is a professional. He's played for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
But, he doesn't get that same kind of thing that Pablo does where he gets to kind of just ease his way into it. He's thrown right into the fire. And so how do you think he's done from a viewer standpoint?
Demir?
Yeah.
I think he's been great. I mean, the guy was playing at Union. I mean, he was a hero at Union. I think right now our big question is the style of play, what we're doing. I mean, you saw it yesterday. That the sixth spot, what are we going to do there? And Kyle's been good. Do we maintain that? I mean, that's not my decision, obviously. That's the team. The one issue I will say, if you look, is those wingers got to defend more, and the Monarchs are doing it, so we just got to make sure the first-team guys are doing that.
And that's one of the things that I think that I've enjoyed watching over this past time. You've seen that system trickle down all the way through the system, down to the academy. That same formation, you're seeing similar styles of play because that's an option moving forward. This team in its first year when you and I were here alongside, there wasn't much of that. There wasn't an opportunity for that. Now there really has been that progression. How fun has it been to watch that Monarchs team take a step up every year?
Well, the cool thing is you have a vision when you put something together, and you hope it gets to where that vision, where you see that, and I think it has. We're not 100%. We're at 85. We still got 15 to go, but to get there and every year be that much better, I think that's the key.
Well, Rob, we appreciate you spending the time. I know you have an announcement on the flip side, going to be leaving the RSL organization to go do your thing. So we wish you the best of luck, and
Thank you.
We'll let you say any parting words you may have.
Well, just thanking everybody for the opportunity, for our owner, Deloy Hansen, everybody at Real Salt Lake. It's been a blessing. I'll be honest with you. I'm grateful for every minute I've had. And everybody that works in sports, you're a caretaker for the club, and hopefully I've done some things that continue the legacy of Real. But I also know there's going to be more people coming in doing bigger and better things. So I'm appreciative of the time that I've had here and the people that I've worked with.
Well, Rob, we appreciate it. Thanks for all you've done from the organization, and we wish you the best of luck.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, thanks.
Second half's back underway here. Monarchs lead 3-1. As we mentioned, 3 first half set-piece goals, and then gave up a goal in the 35th minute to the Timbers 2. And that's where we stand here. No teams for either so far. There's a player down just behind the ref, and I believe it's Lewis.
Asking for something a little after the play. I'm not too sure what happened. It looked like he might have got his knee knocked or his ankle stepped on right at the end there. I think it was completely accidental.
Sometimes those unintentional things happen. Shaking hands with Portillo. Portillo might have caught him as he was moving his hand back, kind of adjusting and running. No maul intention, I think.
I think maybe a prematurely field entrance by the by the team trainer, just coming out to make sure by the time he was out, he was already up and moving. The question is going to be here is going to the second half, kind of what was said. It looks like T2, they started off on the right foot. They're in the opponent's half, making the Monarchs defend. Kind of going back to what Rob Zarco said at halftime, and I said at the first half is, those wide guys defending and coming back. You saw Corey Baird last night. The reason why he had such joy is because he came back and won 2 or 3 balls noticeably just from his work rate, and that was just unbelievable to see. And to see that effort repaid with a brilliant finish for his first MLS goal was just an unbelievably proud moment. It had to be for him and everybody that knows him.
And you've got to love that he came down here, played with the Monarchs, got a goal, got that confidence, went up. Not that he lacked the confidence, because we saw him with the first team in his first ever debut, and he tried to chip the keeper.
Yeah.
So he has some confidence, but it gave him that confidence he needed to find the back of the net.
But that's what you want to see. You want to see young players with confidence, and I'm sure a lot of his confidence stems from winning 3 national championships and playing with such great players as as Morris out there at Stanford. But you've seen 2 straight weeks, or 2 weeks where somebody's gone down. Brooks Lennon went down the first time, scores 2 goals, come back, so now he's just starting right back. You see Corey Baird. He goes into the side. He scores a goal for his first semi-professional or his first professional goal with the Monarchs, and then he comes in and does a great job last night and gets his first goal. So what do you do with him? That's the problem, is how much can you play a guy like Corey Baird? Even though he's so deserving of more playing time, you still kind of have to go with the people that have done well for the team, over the course. Can he withstand the longevity of a season?
Seeing a little bit of a higher line of confrontation from T2 so far.
And that's going to be dangerous for him, too, because that's going to leave them exposed to the back. And as the game goes on, if there's that 2-goal lead, they're going to have to move to 3 in the back, and there's going to be even more opportunity for counterattacks.
Was a substitution made at halftime.
Great little play here.
Augustine Williams. Ball's out wide. Ryden inside the box. Ryden with the shot. Trying to go for the hat trick.
That might have been a contender for SportsCenter Top 10 if he got through for the hat trick from the left back position. Ryden is having himself quite the game. He's showing it in the air and on the ground. That was terrific feet work.
Gotta love it so far. Kalen Ryden playing with a lot of confidence tonight. So as mentioning, Augustine Williams is now in the match. Gallagher there defending.
Great. Way to stand him up, not dive in there, just not fall for his tricks. A lot of the young players get to doing all these step overs when they're really just kind of meaningless. Just take it past them. If you have all the speed in the world, just go.
Ruiz wide to Chang. Chang looking for Brody. Portillo will clean things up. Done a good job in that defensive midfield role for the Monarchs.
Chang kind of reminds me of a Jordan Allen.
Cashier, yeah.
A little bit. Just he's got a little bit of tallness to him. He's not a very wide player, but can run all day, very pacey. Good
little
pass
Swiss
with the
Army
ball.
knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Arboleda out wide.
All the best to Jordan, too, and his, hopefully coming back from his injury. He's
you know, such a great player, and to have so many injuries the way he has is just heartbreaking. So hopefully he makes a 100% recovery and is back in the RSL uniform in no time.
Be a good thing to see him back up and moving. A good career moving forward.
If he could get back to the level he was playing at right before he got hurt, he would be such an unbelievable addition to the RSL team.
Like we mentioned, that Swiss Army knife, a guy that can play multiple positions.
And is a threat from everywhere is one of the biggest things.
Phillips looking forward to Williams. Williams is going to find himself in an offside position. Be a free kick for the Monarchs just inside their own half.
I see him calling for the ball, asking why he didn't play it earlier, but he was standing offsides for a good 3 seconds. So not sure where in the center back was when Phillips was supposed to play that ball. As a forward, though, you never think you're offside. That's absolutely certain.
You got to be asking for it.
Yeah. As a defender, you never cause a foul, and as a forward, you're never offside.
No one's ever wrong.
And as your goalkeeper, it's never your fault.
Ryden. Good job to get through the challenge there. Cashier is going to pick up his head, looking wide for Chang. Defended well by T2. Ruiz does a good job to keep possession for the Monarchs. Sebastian Velasquez inside T2's half. Chang, the ball kind of gets away from him, gets out in front of the defender, pulled from behind, and there's going to be a foul called on Mulligan. Looked like he was maybe not going to call a foul, played the advantage.
That was a great call. I really wish that Chang had broken free from that, because it was a great little move to create that little bit of space for himself. I really like to see what he can do going one-on-one more, and I think that's one of his biggest attributes. Much like Jordan Allen, his one-on-one abilities, I think, tremendous, and you know it's going to be quite a sight to see the entire season for these Monarchs fans.
Another set piece for the Monarchs. Ruiz.
Let's see if this half brought any more joy for the Portland Timbers.
Standing over it, left-footed free kick. He'll take it, whips it inside the box, right to Gallagher. Gallagher put it on frame. Good save by McIntosh.
I think that Cameron Knowles just reached his bowling point right there. What an unbelievable ball in from Sebastian Velasquez. Or was that probably Ruiz that brought that in? Wide open header, and it was actually a pretty good placement. Great reaction save from McIntosh. That's a little accidental. Yeah,
Gallagher and Williams. Gallagher's going to go in the books for that one.
That was definitely unintentional, but you know it probably saved a counterattack because they definitely have some speed out there on the right side.
Gallagher will see yellow here in the 54th minute of play.
That's huge, though. You come here from a great save from McIntosh. Now can the 10 field players reward their goalkeeper for keeping them in the game and score a goal here and make it a 3-2 game going forward. It's a very high line right now from the Monarchs, which is not a thing I'm a big fan of. I'm a bigger fan of being on top of the 18. That way the keeper knows exactly how much room he has to run out. When it's a high line like this, there's so much, you can get so much more of a run up as an offensive player. Watch for those near post runs. Look for that ball to be served right on the penalty spot, but low.
Free kick, 45 out. Clipped inside the 18. Great job there by Putna to come punching, Superman punch.
And he had to, because that was a great ball.
Ruiz, attack on for the Monarchs. It'll be cut off by Hansen. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Oh, man, he laid completely out.
He really put himself in some danger there because the forward actually had no idea where he was and continued his run. 2 brave plays there, but, you know, Putna is a very strong guy from Chicago, so he takes, you know, a lot of pride in that. I'm sure the only other time he's heard the name Portillo's was that great hot dog place that they have, that Polish hot dog place that they have out there in Chicago. But this one's Portillo.
Portillo.
Yeah.
Cashier finds a little space. Velasquez just outside the 18 looking for Chang. Chang's around the keeper. Shot! Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how he overcorrected. That is hard to do. There's been 2 misses now. Chandler Hoffman and Michael Chang, 2 golden chances to just really seal this game. And he did all the hard work. And then he just had to slot it in, just a simple pass. Maybe you think a defender's coming back, but...
Good little combination there from the Monarchs and good heads-up play between Sebastian Velasquez and Michael Chang.
Everything but the finish. That was a great build-up. So
Looks like Chandler and Chang both have both of them have goals they want to get back.
Shot from distance, just wide of the near post. It'll be a goal kick for Putna.
Wow, I would love to take a second look at that and see how he missed it, if it hit off his heel or I can't really tell. But it was, that was it. That's what you're talking about. That's put that nail back in the coffin. You got to have that killer instinct. Chang showed that he can pass the ball, but can he score that goal when you need the goal scored? He's a very good player. Hopefully he gets another chance to redeem himself.
You would hope that you continue with that attitude of moving forward. Got lackadaisical in that second half, or excuse me, in the second part of the first half, and really let things up, and that's when you saw Portland come back into the game.
That's sometimes a good thing, though, for a head coach to see that when you come out to a great lead, you get 3-0, you play good for 30 minutes, but then that last 15 minutes leading into the halftime talk, your team doesn't perform well and they take their foot off the pedal and they allow a goal to be scored. That allows you to do the coaching that you need to do that you possibly wouldn't do if it was 3-0 at halftime and you just said, hey, everybody, keep doing what you're doing. And then you might be in for an entire second half of letting that happen.
Velasquez trying to get around Phillips. Across out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for T2. T2 will quickly take it. Fans, make sure you cast your vote for USL Goal of the Week every Monday evening on USLsoccer.com as the road to the Fans' Choice USL Goal of the Year continues throughout the season. That's USL Goal of the Year.
You can see Portland starting to figure it out a little bit. They're starting to find those pockets in between the defense and the midfield. Those little, I mean, they're not big pockets. I'd say that Monarchs are still in good sets of 4. They just need to make sure that they know who's stepping to which ball. That way, they're not giving any time for them to turn and face their goal in the offensive third.
Like we mentioned, when you have a guy like Augustine Williams, he scored 2 goals on the season. He's already feeling it. He's already playing well. You've got to keep him in check.
Absolutely. No, that's an understatement. He's scoring a goal a game right now and really can't really afford to give up a goal to him because if he scores 1, that goal just keeps getting bigger and bigger for forwards.
Was hoping to see a skill check there by Briggs.
Shoes are too nice, I think.
Okay.
To be honest.
Pretty boy down there.
Yeah, he just spent too much on them, so yeah, I understand it. I don't really have shoes that expensive, though, so plus I'm just dying to play soccer.
You and me both. One of us is an MLS veteran, the other's a washed-up college player.
We'll probably both play in the same league one day, so.
You can come join me in the Utah Premier League. Saturdays. Sebastian Velasquez, Mulligan's going to cut it off, plays it back to the keeper, McIntosh. He'll play it forward. Defended well by Beasler.
That's great strength.
Good touch there by Augustine. He'll play it to Arboleda. Little combination happening in the midfield for T2. Ball up over top. Right in there, and it's a goal. Arboleda's going to find the back of the net for the second goal. 59th minute goal by T2.
And as you see it here, Augustine Phillips does a great job holding the ball up, as we said. Takes it down, pulls it, passes it back. He pulled himself out of the center position. Ball gets played over. The goal scorer was, who's the goal scorer?
Arboleda.
Arboleda again, his second goal of the night. And that's just one thing you can't teach and you can't replace in any sport, and that's speed, except for maybe golf. And Arboleda just making it look really easy. Putting out the ball, checks up on the dry grass. He mistimes his run out. Great little touch over from Arboleda. And then, you know, it was all, you know, everything to do but the finish. And unfortunately for
Kalen
Ryden, who's been the MVP probably for the Monarchs today, took a big hit to the ribs trying to get back and prevent that goal.
You know, you got to respect that from a player trying to get back, keeper, ball up over top, and he almost got there.
Yep.
But now we have a tight game, 3-2. Timbers 2 crawled back into this game. 2 goals here in the last little bit. See if the Monarchs can muster up some courage and take the bull by the horns here in this second half.
I'm very impressed with the Timbers 2 right now. Just the fortitude to fight back into this game and to not think that you're already gone 3-0. I've been down 3-0 here at RSL. And it is not an easy hill to climb. And it mostly just has to do with the altitude.
And sometimes you'd think it'd be the opposite, the altitude the other way. A team like Portland coming in to the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. here in Salt Lake. Timbers 2 playing with a lot of fire here in the last few minutes. Can the Monarchs reclaim and resettle?
That's the one thing that you're thankful that you have Nick Beasley back there for, but he's really got to start getting mad at some of these players and letting them know that it's just not good enough right now. Chandler Hoffman's the captain, but he can't yell from up top. It's got to come from the back. It's got to come from Putna.
Ryden gets beat inside the box. Hansen. Portillo there to clean it up. Cashier. He'll keep it in. Monarchs trying to clear their line. Velasquez to Portillo. Ruiz has space in front of him, sees Chang out wide. He'll spray it out wide to Chang. Chang's on a foot race against Mulligan. Inside T2's 18. Looking forward to Velasquez just outside the area. Velasquez picks up his head, still with the ball at his feet. Looking to clip it in. Takes a deflection, and T2 will clear.
And I'm unsure why that took so long to get that shot off. When the shot was there, either shoot it right away or pass it out to the wide guy who was making the overlap. I think it was it Cashier coming in from the other side was wide open. If you're going to feed him, feed him. If not, shoot it. Allowed everybody to get back and people to actually be there to block the shot. It's just taking too long for Velasquez to do things right now.
We're going to see the Monarchs' first sub of the night. Josh Hurd.
Taking a little chin music there from August, and Nick Beasley's not happy about it. Definitely something the referee couldn't see. But he did well to win that ball and get it out of play.
We're going to see Cashier. Does Knight be done? He played a good 63 minutes.
You can tell that Mark Briggs is not happy with how things are going right now, but you also see that he's not trying to make a bigger deal about it than he actually needs to. He doesn't want to show that he's a little bit worried, he's a little bit stressed out, because that'll just be relayed to the players. Right now, it depends on personnel that's on the field. Who's going to step up and lead? Who's going to score that goal to make it a 2-goal lead again? Who's going to do what McIntosh did for Portland Timbers 2, make 2 great saves to allow that goal to go in, allow them just that chance to score that goal and to make it a 1-goal game. Even though McIntosh has given up 3 goals today, he's done very well on the flip side of that coin.
Portland's done a good job here in the last 10 minutes or so. Flipped the game on the head. Now it's a 3-2 game. They're looking for that point at this point, so they don't have to come back and get 2 goals. They're just looking for that single goal right now to tie things up.
This would be an amazing point to take away if they were able to somehow score that 3rd goal and tie it up 3-3.
Josh Hurd in the green boots.
To score 3 goals away from home, to get a point away from home with that is one thing, but to come back from 3-0 down after just 3 terrible blunders is a complete another thing.
Velasquez with Hoffman out wide. Little too far out in front of Hoffman. Chang's back post. Can he get it to Chang? Hurd. Timbers 2 will collect and recompose. Hurd's going to play it back to Ryden. Monarchs had a promising attack there moments ago. Velasquez couldn't put it in the perfect space for Hoffman.
This game is missing Charlie Adams. The one thing that Charlie Adams is amazing at is pinpoint passes. Sometimes they're a little bit too hard, but when he's playing these through balls through, he's just got a real preciseness to him. And that ball from Sebastian Velasquez, that miscommunication between him and Chandler on the timing, that just can't happen in a 2v2 situation. Like, again, there needs to be a shot on goal right then there.
Timbers 2 with it in their own half. The captain, Josh Phillips, out wide, looking forward to Augustine Williams. Will be cut off by Andrew Brody. Brody to Portillo. Out wide to Hurd, who just came on as a sub moments ago.
Portland's put a lot into this first 15 minutes here in the second half, so first 15, 20 minutes. So what they need to do now is a long spell of possession. Make them run at altitude. Make them chase the ball and get tired. And when they get tired, then you capitalize on the goal. You capitalize, but you can't get frustrated right now or think that you're in any kind of danger, even though you are.
Hurd with a nice skill check there to Velasquez. Velasquez inside the 18. Has Hoffman. Keeps it on his feet. Shot and a goal! Sebastian Velasquez with a goal for the Real Monarchs in the 66th minute of play.
And if anybody was going to answer my question of who's going to step up, I definitely expected it to be him. It really seemed that he had disappeared from the match last 20, 30 minutes. He had been involved, but he hadn't been really his normal self. That was almost an instant replay of what he did just 2 minutes ago when he didn't lay the ball off the cashier. He dribbled 2, 3 touches, but like a golf shot, sometimes the second shot's always better than the first. And that was a great goal, great solo effort, great through ball played to him by the substitute Josh Hurd.
And, you know, the interesting thing is it almost looks like he spent too much time and didn't lay it off to Hoffman, but found that angle, got around the defender Phillips, and was able to cut it back, hitting to that far post with his left foot.
It was almost like he corrected everything that he did wrong in the first one. Like I said, he's all left-footed. You know he's going to go to his left foot at some point. The defense knows that. Everything about Sebastian Velasquez. He's on the team of the year. Gets to his left foot, still has the pace and the moxie and the skill to get around 3 guys and tuck it in the far post. Great goal.
67th minute, 4-2 Monarchs. That was the goal you needed if you were Coach Mark Briggs.
Right now, I'm more than happy with what I did offensively in the offseason if I'm Mark Briggs, but I'm a little questionable of what I'm doing defensively because not only they've scored 7 goals, but they've also given up 4. You don't want to be that kind of team. So really don't have to change much about the offensive, especially when it comes to set pieces, but going forward, how do we close it up? How do we make that a 3-0 game turn into a 6-0 game and not a 4-3 or a 3-2?
And that's a challenge for teams, trying to figure out how to lock down defensively while having that killer attack. Sometimes you get spread a little thin and the counterattacks happen.
Yeah, I really think that that's just not, you know, I think that's just a lapse of concentration. That's something that you can't do at the MLS level, and even at the USL level you can't do it, but it's good that they're learning this lesson now. It'd be better if they came away with the win, and that's exactly what you want to happen. But Portland Timbers, too, have definitely come back from the dead and made a great game out of it.
Ryden inside the 18. He's got a lot of green space in front of him, looking for Hoffman. Trying to clip it up high, and he'll go out for a throw-in.
I think that was just a miss hit. I think he wanted to go low and hard in front of the goalkeeper because Hoffman makes a great double move, acts like he's going to the front post, then dips back in behind his center back, and he was wide open if he could have found him at the 3. And I'm sure Chandler would have loved that to redeem himself from the first half miss he had.
T2 trying to apply a little pressure.
That's what Hoffman's so good at. He's so good at just staying centrally and being that focal point for the attack. And when when it's called upon, he does have a little bit of back to goal type play. But great little bit of skill, Brody.
Ooh, Andrew Brody with the skill check. Hurd looking forward. Chang's going to reward him for the run. He puts it inside the box. It'll be cleared by T2. Not all the way.
I'll tell you who I miss seeing it right back. Tony Beltran. I was gutted for that man. What happened to him last year? Probably played the best season that I've ever seen him play last season. And, to just end it on the second game on a cheap tackle was so bad, but he is so desperately missed on the outside there because he just provides so much more than just his physical ability and the way he plays. It's his leadership. It's his presence that the team constantly needs.
His soccer smarts.
Yep.
A former UCLA Bruin, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the best players come from UCLA. I don't know why I say that.
Someone had to say it, right?
Someone had to.
There's a lot of University of Washington products down here for the Monarchs.
That was my second. That was my second choice to go to UW, or it was between UW and UCLA.
2 very wise decisions. Beautiful campuses.
I chose the weather.
How could you not love a little sun?
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting a little California sun today. High 60s. Beautiful Easter weekend here in the Rocky Mountains.
It really is a perfect day for soccer. 60 degrees is about what you like to play in. It seems like the players can run all day. Looks beautiful. Ball sits perfectly. It's a great field. They kept it in great condition. I'm sure they didn't think this many games was going to be played on it, though.
On a rugby match last night here at Rio Tinto. Monarchs making their sole appearance here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Going to be moving to the $78 million soccer complex in Harriman later this month, or excuse me, next month, end of April. Their first game will be against the Las Vegas Lights, a new USL side this season.
And that's one thing when you're the USL team of an MLS team and you play in the same stadium, it can lose that effect on you. It can lose that effect when you have 20,000 people at one game and you have 5,000 people at another game. But that Zion Bank Center is going to be a great little arena for him.
Beautiful 5,000 seat stadium. Free kick for Timbers 2. Zambrano inside the area, cleared out by Gallagher with ease. Looked like T2 wasn't quite ready.
I thought we were going to see Superman 2 right there, to be honest.
Ruiz forward to Velasquez. Nice combination between Ruiz and Velasquez. Ruiz and Mulligan in a chase. Back to the keeper to McIntosh. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. That's @USL for league news.
Really looking in for that long ball there. You can see that they've found something at that wide spot, and they're really trying to release Arboleda. It's pretty much a battle between Arboleda and Ryden to see who's going to get the hat trick today. I really don't know which way I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Ryden because I'm a Monarchs fan.
You know, it'd be kind of fun to see that Ryden, an outside left back, getting a hat trick.
I think they're on the opposite teams this week, but I can definitely think.
Hurd inside the 18. Hurd picks up his head, looking to cross it to Chang, but he'll win the corner kick for the Monarchs.
As I was saying, they're on different teams this week and opposing each other, but I can almost guarantee that they're probably both going to be on the team of the week together. Two great performances.
No doubt. Portillo will take the corner kick from the far left side.
Now you're getting to the 72nd, 73rd minute. Now comes the gamesmanship, a little bit of time wasting, walking to the ball, making it, just trying to stop the ball, causing smart fouls. That's when this kind of kicks in with a 2-goal lead.
Portillo looking to Ryden. Ryden shot on goal. And he'll be pushed up over the crossbar by the keeper, McIntosh.
Almost doubled my money. Almost doubled. I'm definitely staying with Ryden on this one.
We're taking you to Vegas.
What is
he gets
this?
The hat trick. Ryden battling there with Phillips.
I just don't understand how many times somebody can get on the end of a cross on every single set piece and be unmarked. At least he was touching him this time, but almost 3 goals off 3 set pieces, that defender would have heard something from his head coach.
Ruiz inside the 18. It's going to come out the backside. Hurd's there to collect. Hurd to Chang. Chang's going to whip it back in the box. Looking. Beasler's there. Velasquez settles just outside the 18. Shot over the bar.
What a great first touch from Sebastian Velasquez here. Ball comes over his head, and he kind of takes a good touch, but he didn't expect to take that good of a touch. And he puts it down over him, and then it's just that left-footed whip that you want to see. Great ball back in by Michael Chang. Great little touch over his head, and there's only one thought on his mind, crack this. And he just sails it too high.
And he's capable of scoring from that distance.
Oh, he can score from anywhere with that left foot. I wouldn't put it past him. Him and Ruiz is to have two kind of maestros with left feet in the middle right there. It just has to be. It's been a long day for the center mids of Portland T2.
Well, and then you add Portillo in the midfield.
He almost got on the score sheet himself.
Yeah.
McIntosh with a great save in the first half on him.
Mulligan's out wide, defended by Brody. He'll cut back to his right foot, looking back post. Cleared out by Ryden, but kept in by T2.
And you can see it now. T2's starting to step up all their lines. Players are starting to take some chances going forward. This is going to leave them very open at the back. And they can get that third goal, they're going to keep it going. But if they go back to 5, it's one of those ones where you're just like, okay, this game might be over.
Brody there defending. The cut back. Chang there to provide some defensive assistance. It'll be a throw-in for T2. Mulligan.
They've really done a great job today at the Monarchs. As outside backs, get to the crosser. Don't let him serve easy balls if he does in. There's been a lot of deflected crosses. Putin has not had to deal with a whole lot of stuff from the wide. That's been really good.
Ball inside the box. Beasler clears. Hurd. Back towards goal. He's battling with Hansen. Hansen gains possession. Hoffman, not really much of anywhere to go.
No, yeah, I mean, especially now as, you know, they start pushing forward, Monarchs have to defend, which kind of leaves him on that island more by himself. So you're now asking him, instead of to hold the ball for 2 seconds, can you hold it up for 4 seconds? Can you stretch it into the corner? Can you waste some time in the corner? Can you put us on through on a counterattack? Can you switch the ball? So many things are going to be asked of him that are going to be tougher for him now than they were in the first 75 minutes.
Chang with it. He'll cross midfield. Monarchs going to slow it up. Chang forward to Velasquez. Velasquez, you got to watch his fancy footwork. He's defended by multiple players. Portillo's touch gets away from him. An opportunity for T2. Timbers going forward. Lewis. Back to Mulligans.
Ibo Bise, really different seeing him going from the forward position instead of them playing 2 up top. He really came out.
Pushing out wide.
Isn't really playing more of a left wing forward type formation. He's playing more of a left mid form kind of, and he's almost content staying there, which is a little awkward to see.
We see multiple substitutions for the Monarchs, and one from T2 here shortly. Hernandez up at the line ready to go. Adams getting his gear off.
He's a player that I've been waiting to see what he can do in games just as much as anybody. He's a guy that comes in and really works his tail off every single practice and wants to play as much as he possibly can. He's got so many great players in front of him that it's hard for him to show his talent. But once again, a UCLA product that I think has a bright, MLS future in front of him.
Adams and Hernandez will enter this match at the next dead ball. 78th minute of play. Monarchs lead 4-2.
I'm not sure who you would go in for, but I would probably say that Velasquez or Pablo Ruiz's day is down for sure. One of the two of them, if not both of them. A good time to bring in some fresh legs and really run, T2 into the ground, keep possession a little bit better. There's been a lack of movement from those two as the second half has waned on. Chance to give them like a little break, well-deserved rest. Sebastian Velasquez scores that 4th goal. They go forward.
Let's see, Sebastian Velasquez. His night be done. A beautiful 65th minute goal to put the Monarchs up 4-2. And Jose Hernandez will enter the match.
And it looks like Pablo Ruiz is actually asking for a substitute. I don't know if he knows. Like I said, he doesn't speak great English, so I don't know if he knows that he's might be coming off, but I just saw him signaling for and off, so maybe he's got a little bit of the cramps in the calves or the hamstrings.
Harold Hansen's night will be done, and Loria is going to enter for T2. Charlie Adams back up at the center circle to enter the match.
One of the fan favorites on the Monarchs and on Instagram is Charlie Adams. He's a great spirit, a great guy to have in the locker room, and just an unbelievable talent to have on your team. Mark Briggs is a very lucky coach to have him.
Charlie Adams will enter for Pablo Ruiz. Pablo Ruiz, a quality 79 minutes of soccer from him tonight.
And not only was Mark Briggs happy he was out there today, but I'm sure that Mike Pecky and the coaching staff was happy he was out there and to see him put in a good performance.
Monarchs used all 3 subs. So they're going to go the final 10 minutes of play, 10-plus minutes of play with this 11.
And that's something that the Monarchs possess that not a lot of the other teams in the USL do, I think, and that's just depth for days. Every person you bring in, there's really not a step down. It's just a step to the side. They're all great players. Those 3 players, Charlie Adams, Jose Hernandez, and Josh Hurd, all are capable of being starters on almost any team in the league.
Well, and the interesting thing is you have a few more guys on that bench that you could have brought on. Lopez Espin.
We just call him Big Kenny.
Big Kenny. We'll call him that.
That's easier.
Moberg's down there, and Juan Mare. Another forward that the Monarchs could have brought on. Portillo defending. Advantage played for T2. Loria's going to get his first touch. Back to Jadama.
See, one of these things that's big for somebody like Jose Hernandez is coming in the last 15 minutes, because with the first team, that is how he will come in and he will partake in some of the games.
Opportunity for T2, sprayed through the box. It'll go out the opposite side, but held in by Loria.
But the question is what impact can you make in 15 minutes? Every time you come in, that 15 minutes doesn't seem the game is out of reach, or if you guys have the big lead, you have to play in every kind of situation. They want to see if they can bring you in when you have the lead, when you're tied, or when you're losing, can they trust you?
And Chad, you've been in that role in the last few years in your career. How has that been? What is your mentality? Pedal to the metal?
Make a difference.
Got to find the back of the net, make a difference.
Make a difference. Any way you can, whatever which way. Sometimes it calls for a goal, sometimes it takes you to take it to the corner.
Opportunity there for T2.
But whatever you do, make an impact, bring energy to the game, or make an impact, bring energy to the game, and be the difference. And that's pretty much a mindset that just doesn't happen overnight. I came from being a starter, and it was very depressing not being a starter anymore. But there is... you take on this super sub type role, and that becomes who you are. And if that's who you are, then play to that strength.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to push.
And of course, everybody wants to be a starter. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants their names on the magazines and, their names on the back of the jerseys that people are buying. But this is a team game, and it's not important. Yeah, it's great to have good players, but it's important, to have a great team 1 through 28.
And there's nothing wrong with being a super sub. Super subs have made lots of big differences in big games, coming on late and scoring big goals for teams.
You look at Alan Gordon for the LA Galaxy when he was at San Jose, those type players. When I would come in for Seattle, the fans would just go crazy because I would make differences in these games. And it makes you feel just as important as if you were a starter, and you are just as important. So these players can't think that they are any less important not starting this game.
Hoffman shot up over the crossbar, left-footed opportunity. And not a bad look there from the captain.
Great little shot there from a shot you don't see him take very often,
especially with the left foot.
Well, he is left-footed, but I mean, so I know he's happy to get on his left to wrap that around. It looked like he wanted to go far post, might have overcorrected just a little bit too much, but a great effort nonetheless.
Chang looks like he's a little gassed. Brody tries to get there. Augustine Williams running at the center back. He's going to take a shot. Takes a deflection, still just outside the area. Ryden defending him. Opportunity kept in by Ryden. It's going to cross the end line. It'll be a corner kick for T2 here in the 84th minute of play.
Ryden's really had himself a great game. He's a much bigger guy. Slower than Arboleda. Arboleda. Much slower than Arboleda is, but that's not saying that he's slow. Arboleda is a very fast player, so to keep pace with him in the 90th minute is very impressive.
Low-driven ball looking for Phillips. It'll be kept in by T2. Hernandez, they're battling. Will give a set piece up. About 35 out.
Jose just tried to get away with Jose Altidore got away with last night, hooking Justin Glad's arm. It is a very professional move. It caused the foul, but it's just that's that kind of smarts that you really need to pick up as you go along. And Josie's a master at it, unfortunately.
He showed it last night. Ball's inside the box, held in. There'll be an offside flag shown. It'll be a free kick for the Monarchs.
The offside definitely wasn't there, but that was a very good line by the Monarchs, much different from what T2's been coming with up all night. But just having that cohesion and going over those 20 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, 1 hour a week, it's so important. Like I said, a little bit in gamesmanship, take a little bit longer. The keeper from Norwich City, apparently, Andrew Putna. I like
Sometimes you got to slow down the game a little bit. Hernandez gets it out wide to Chang. Monarchs have a promising attack. Chang looking to cross it in. Take a deflection, and it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. The USL's official Facebook page brings you the best from around the league with news, highlights, and interactive features. Like the USL on Facebook to get the league's best content delivered to you. It's the USL on Facebook. Hernandez has space. He's inside the box. Inside the 18, looking. Hearn forward. Shot! Save by McIntosh. We have a player down for T2. Looks like it might be, excuse me, I thought it was Phillips, not Phillips. Mulligans.
What a great turn there from Jose Hernandez. But when he turned, I think he must have been confused because nobody was behind him. Terrible marking there by T2, but really, great acknowledgement from Jose Hernandez, and even better across to Josh Hurd, who made a great, cut across run. Good defending right at the last to, get a foot in there and poke that ball and make it slower for the keeper to pick up.
Hurd did a good job at getting a shot off. It really didn't look like he had much of an angle.
It seems he's a lot, he has that intensity and that engine that Corey Baird has shown recently. And I just saw him right before that making a very hard post run right before that corner kick was taken, or that throw-in was taken, I'm sorry. And then he got across again. So you can tell that he's hungry. He wants to get on the score sheet, and that always wants to happen when it's 4 goals. Can we score 5, 6, and can we get everybody to score? Why not?
The effort's been there from the Monarchs tonight. They've gotten a little laxed in a few segments of this game, but really have been doing a good job here late to close this one out.
I think that's something that Mark Briggs does a great job, is he just makes sure that everybody holds himself accountable, and he makes sure that they, for one thing that they'll give every single time is effort. This is the home opener that I'm sure RSL wish that they had. But it's going to be great to see them, hopefully continue the tradition of going undefeated, unbeaten in home openers and openers at the start of the season.
The last time these two teams got together in a home opener was the official home opener for the Real Monarchs in 2015, a 1-1 draw. A little bit of a different result tonight. Augustine Williams showing a little skill.
He's really thrown in a bunch of elbows there, and I think if VAR was used in this league, he might have been tossed from this game. He really likes to throw his arms, and it doesn't seem like it's in an accidental type fashion. It seems like he's almost trying to hurt people, which is, something I'm not okay with.
Phillips, the captain. Timbers 2 still trying to attack. Arboleda, the goal scorer.
The last person I could see that always happens with Shaori Joseph for New England. This guy poked me in the eye at least every time we played against him. And it was accidental, though. He's just tall, and, my face was just at that level.
Ball's whipped in. Portillo headed away.
When he wanted to get dirty, you would see him throw some stuff, and you could tell the difference between accidental and if he was trying to give me a bow.
Shot from distance. High up over the crossbar.
But I think that boils down to frustration and being young and not getting your way. The Monarchs have done a great job. They're losing here away from home. He's trying to get that third goal in 3 games. That looks very good for the first team. And everybody's looking to try and make that promotion, that jump. And I've liked what I've seen with him when he has the ball. He's a very strong player. I just think he could leave some of that out.
And done a great job looking for an opportunity to try to get up to the big leagues. Monarchs' next game will be at Phoenix, April 7th, against Drogba and company down in the desert. Timbers 2 will stay on the road, head to Tulsa, and play this Wednesday, April 4th at 5 p.m. against the Roughnecks. Monarchs playing their only home game in the first 5 games. Timbers 2 on their 3rd away game of 5 away games to start the season. Both teams not getting the friendly confines of their home field early on. Sometimes that pays dividends later in the season if you can get some early results, though.
I mean, absolutely. It'll be 3 more games after this on the road for Monarchs, and to have 2 wins. Very English tackle there from Charlie Adams, coming in very hot. Surprised that the yellow's not coming out for that one. But you got to love the energy that he brings to the game. It's they're up 2 goals. It's the 89th minute, and he's still trying to make a statement. So I'll never lambast him for that.
Free kick for Zambrano. Zambrano inside the box. Little too much under that. Putna will collect. Fall to the ground. Classic keeper move. Kill a little bit more time.
Bounce it 27 times.
Then put it on the ground.
Got a big leg there. Now he's trying to shoot. That's a little selfish.
Goalie wars.
Like I told you, everybody wants to score.
In a game of 6 goals, everybody feels like they can score. 3 minutes of stoppage coming. Jose Hernandez, space in front of him. Phillips, 1v1, looking to get it outside to Adams. Be cut off by Lewis. T2 trying to attack.
I love that he's unselfish there a little bit, but I would love it even more if he took that one-on-one opportunity. Like I said, you're coming on to show what you can do. You have the lead. You have an opportunity there to go one-on-one, guilt-free, and try and beat the man and score a goal. Let's see that next time instead of pass that ball off to the left. Unless you're going to send it to the corner, you're going to kill the match.
Hurd down there in the corner, trying to kill things off. Here's where late in this one. Monarchs trying to move to 2-0 on the season with 6 points to open 2018.
That's just so impressive. They've 29 out of their last 36 games are wins. That's, you know, that would be at the top charts of everything, of anything. And, you know, all credit goes to Mark Bridges and his coaching staff and the personnel that they brought in here and the effort that they are able to get out of these players week in, week out.
And one of the new assistant coaches we haven't got to talk much about is a former player, a guy that hung up the cleats and decided to go right onto that coaching staff, Danny Cruz.
Yep, you know, someone that you didn't think was done playing. He's posting pictures in the preseason saying he was excited. It was about his 9th or 10th preseason. And then he saw an opportunity, and he's been doing coaching and talking about that on the sides a lot. And he just, you know, sees an opening. You know, Lee Miller, obviously, just too early of a departure from this life. It would have been great for them to be able to have his expertise and his professional experience to go with. But Danny Cruz is going to do his absolute best. And from what I've talked about with Briggs, he's done a great job.
And, you know, the Monarchs have to be proud of how they played here, remembering him before the game, and they've done him proud with this performance so far.
Oh, they really have. They really have.
Gallagher.
I think that tackle from Charlie Adams was for Liam.
An English tackle.
English tackle.
If he would have showed some studs, it probably would have been more English.
Yeah.
But we won't go into that side of English soccer. Portillo playing it out wide to Chang. Chang has space, looking forward to Adams. He just underhit that.
The thought was right. The execution wasn't there. It definitely a great unselfish play. Charlie Adams made a great little run there, and that's the game.
90 minutes of soccer have been played. And center referee Brad Jensen will blow his whistle. And the Monarchs are going to move to 2-0 on the season as they take the 4-2 victory in the lone contest for the Monarchs here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Next time we call this team's game, we're going to be at Zions Bank Stadium.
Yeah, looking forward to that opening. I might not be there. I'm hoping to be playing at some point, but we'll see what happens with that. Either way, it's going to be a great grand opening. Hopefully they fill out that 5,000-seat stadium. The Monarchs, this team definitely deserves it.
Goals by Beasler, 2 by Ryden, and 1 by Velasquez. On the flip side, a brace for Arboleda. Good performance from the Monarchs. Like we talked about, Chad, a little lackadaisical at times. End of that first half really became kind of a struggle for the Monarchs.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what you're always trying to do, and that's what I said. You're scoring 7 goals, but you're giving up 4 as well. 2 away, but those 2 at home, you really don't want to give up at home. So what you need to do is you just need to find a way, Mark Briggs needs to find a way to stop that, to get that fixed, and that comes with, you know, you're always bringing people in and out of the lineup and changing people. It's tough, but I'm sure he'll get it worked out.
Man of the match for tonight's contest, Kalen Ryden. 2 goals, a brace for the defender. We don't get to say that often. A brace for the defender tonight, and he played well.
And almost had a beautiful 3rd goal for the hat trick. And dribbled through 3 guys, 2 great goals off of corner, 1 off a corner, 1 off a free kick, completely unmarked. Almost had another one coming off another set piece at the end. So he really could have had 4 goals today. You would have thought he was a forward if you looked at the score sheet. But you know, he did a great job. I thought Arboleda did a great job on the other side for them. Like I said, I think they'll both be it for Team of the Week. But congrats to Kalen Ryden on that honor.
Timbers, too, had a pretty good game. Some things to work on, set pieces. Cameron Knowles, I'm sure, is going to be frustrated with his side for those mistakes, those defensive laps. But not a bad team, some quality players.
Well, that's the difference. That's the difference is that those 3 goals that they gave up on set pieces. If not, this is a 2-2 game. It's making a team score out of open play is much more difficult. It's not that the Monarchs didn't have those chances, though. McIntosh was fantastic in goal today, even though he gave up the 3 goals. Those were really his fault. Those were people, somewhat his fault, but more the defensive side not picking up marks.
Organizing it. Yeah. The Monarchs will be back in action next week away on the road in Phoenix against Drogba, and then they'll be back home here at the end of April. So a long little stretch before they get back home to Chris and Zions Bank Stadium. But a good performance, something to hang your head on, and moving forward, the Monarchs have an opportunity to continue riding this wave.
Yeah, like you said, in the Lee Miller tribute game, they paid their respects greatly, and with the win and with 4 goals. And to go on to their next one, they have 3 road games coming up. Can they get 6 points? You know, that'd be a great benchmark. Obviously, Briggs is going to go for 9, and they're a team that can definitely do 9 points. But like you said, can we come in with 4 wins for sure, bring it into the Zion Bank Stadium, and then starting in the homestand from there?
From our team here at Rio Tinto Stadium, the awesome camera crew, the production crew, Chad Barrett, I'm Landon Southwick, and we'll sign off on this Easter weekend and wish you a wonderful holiday.
Happy Easter.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.